Hi, my name is Huston Party. So I'm going to do that again. Hi, my name is Huston Party. I am a videographer and actor, and on the short film Love Burns, I play the main character. I got involved with the project of Love Burns because I know the director and writer, and we worked together. And so we were able to form a connection and become friends, and yeah, just had a good time making the short. Love Burns came together because I was over at Brandon's house, and we were doing a photo shoot and a makeup test, and I figured while we were there, why not shoot a short film? So Ian came over, and he had all his camera equipment, and we kind of just came up with the story on the spot, looked around at the locations, and we were like, okay, we can make something. I feel when finding a location for a film in such a short amount of time, it really brings the creative juices flowing even more because you're working under restrictions. So being able to be like, okay, this is the house, this is the backyard, what can we do with these locations? And it just kind of whittled from there, and we're like, okay, we can shoot him playing video games, walking outside, the killer's outside. And so it just kind of made it, in my opinion, easier. In the short film, no, I did not actually play the video game. We had a YouTube screen, and hopefully my acting was convincing enough for the audience to believe that I was playing the video game. Button smashing, just clicking around.
Smashing into victory.
I know. The process of getting into character for man in Love Burns, I really took inspiration from like 1980s slasher movies. There's a lot where it's a person in a house and they hear a weird noise outside and they check that noise and they're not supposed to, and then they end up getting killed. So I just took my knowledge of horror films and just applied it to that role, and hopefully I played man being scared really well. I'm mostly a collector of all movies. I love cinema in general. I genuinely lean more towards the horror genre for sure. But yeah, I love all movies, new and old. For the makeup, no, this was not my first time having special effects makeup applied to me. So I know how long it takes and how grueling the makeup artists work to make it look good for the camera. The process for watching the makeup artists and seeing what they did was really fascinating. I got to be there the whole time and sit in the chair and talk to the makeup artist and get to collaborate with them on how the makeup was going to look, the positioning of it, and then do like some screen tests with it. So overall, it was a really good experience with the makeup artist. I collaborated with the makeup artist on the look because we knew it was going to be a fire stunt and I would end up getting burned. So we were looking at Google images and just doing some tests of like what type of burns these would look like, seeing how long I would have been in the fire. Obviously not long, didn't survive very long, but yeah, so that's how we collaborated, just looked at burn footage and looked at how a victim of that time period spent in a fire would look. The two biggest challenges for me on Love Burns was one, because we didn't have a lot of time and not really a fully fleshed out script, was to just come up with how this character would react, what would look natural, the words he would say, just coming up with natural reactions in this scenario. And then the second hardest part was probably the fire stunt.
Why would you say the fire stunt was such a big challenge?
The fire stunt was challenging because obviously we're not professional stuntmen, and just learning what would look good on camera, trying to make sure that I was safe enough from the distance of the fire and being able to make it look like believable on camera and not actually getting burned. So I would say that for sure. Because we had such a short amount of time making the film, I feel like that made me even more comfortable because it was more improv and not so much learning lines and getting into the character's headspace. It was kind of run and gun guerrilla filmmaking, which I'm a really big fan of. So just being able to be like, okay, this is a situation, you're rolling with it, go. And so I'm more comfortable in those situations, so. I would say my biggest achievement so far in filmmaking is being cast in the horror movie Him. Being on set with all those people was just an amazing experience. Getting to work on Love Lies Bleeding and making short films for myself, really find that really rewarding. It wasn't an acting role per se, but getting to do health and safety work on the TV show Outer Range was a really big accomplishment for me. It was like my first real big film gig. Just being on set for a whole year was like really life-changing, and I really enjoyed that experience. I would say my biggest goals for getting back into the film industry or continuing to work is I love acting and directing and writing and just those creative roles mostly. I find those really rewarding, and getting to craft a story that people want to see or giving a performance that like people are really wowed by. So I would say that those are my biggest goals. I feel like my greatest accomplishment during the film was really selling the head crack. I feel like that was really good and it paid off really well. And also the fire stunt, I feel like came out really well, and that all came together great. I would say biggest inspirations for acting, this might sound silly, but Bruce Campbell in the Evil Dead movies.
Groovy.
And Sam Raimi and their team, just two friends wanting to make horror movies and seeing how their friendship really made those movies come together and skyrocket their careers. I just loved that he brought that goofy side to such a like terrifying movie, and being able to bring comedy into that performance in like these terrible circumstances was really fun to watch. And yeah, that's really a big inspiration for me was those movies.
Hail to the king, baby.
I feel like if there was anything that we could change on Love Burns, it would probably be more time. More time makes a movie better. And so even though I love short film and guerrilla filmmaking and just running and gunning, making stuff up, I feel like if we were able to have at least 2 full days making this, we could have really added more dialogue, more kills maybe, even an extra person. But for what we had and the time we had, I feel like the project really came out great. Roles I would like to do in the future that I haven't gotten to do yet, I would really like to do something like with heavy monster makeup. I feel like being able to transform into like a creature or a monster with just heavy special effects makeup on would be like a really cool dream role to have. I would probably say the most impactful part of my film career was probably getting that first job on Outer Range, because I had never really worked in the film industry before. And even though I wasn't really involved in the creative process, I was doing health and safety, but just being able to be on a TV show for a whole year and get to interact with every single department, even though they weren't a big fan of health and safety, but getting to interact with those people and learn what everyone did over the course of a year, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is amazing. I want to continue this journey. I would say the most fun moment that I ever had on set or in the film industry was being at my mom's house and getting the call from a casting director that I'd been chosen to work in a Jordan Peele produced horror film, and that I was handpicked was probably one of the coolest moments of my life. And then driving all the way back to New Mexico and getting to spend a month on that set was just an absolute dream come true. No. Never been injured, but the most like miserable I was on set was on Outer Range. We were filming in February in New Mexico, and the temperatures got below -0, and I've never been so cold in my life. And we were working 14-hour days, and it was the most brutal cold I've ever felt. I've never felt so happy to have a hot shower at the end of the day. For like a month, it was all night scenes. So we were shooting at night, and I have pictures on my phone like of the frost on the trees. I was wearing like 8 layers of jackets and clothes, and I couldn't feel my fingers. But my job was easy. Watching the grips and electric do what they did in that temperature was like incredible. I don't know how those guys do it. I chose to work in film because from a very young age, that was all I wanted to do. When someone asked me when I was little, like, what do you want to do? My immediate answer was work in the movies. I didn't know what that was, but I just wanted to be on set. I never had to question like, I want to be a policeman or a firefighter. It was always the answer was movies. Yeah, if I could give my younger self advice, just start chasing the dream as soon as you can. Get out of high school and just go for it. That's the biggest advice I could give my younger self. I took very many detours before I could enter the film industry, but because of those detours, I got in. My biggest advice to young filmmakers is to just do it. Grab your friends, grab a camera, no matter how bad the movie is, just make content and put it out there and keep chasing the dream. I mean, it's silly, but like my expectations in my life right now are so low. Honestly, my biggest goal right now for the film industry is to make a film Doesn't have to be necessarily liked or loved, but just to make a film that is out there that people can watch, rather that be on video on demand like Amazon Prime or just at your local Walmart on the shelf. Just a movie that's out there that people can watch, I think is just an accomplishment in itself, to have something out there that people can watch. That's the real answer. The dream? Yeah. I would say the biggest dream of mine in the film industry is to make a feature-length horror film that gets fully produced and is totally my vision and is completed, and at least one person likes it. That's all I care about. As long as it inspires one person, that would be my dream. Your projects don't have to be necessarily liked by everyone, but if there is someone out there that believes in what you did and they like what you did, I feel like that makes it 100% worth it. I do have several projects that I would love to get out there. They're not in the works right now, but I do have several scripts and several ideas that I would love to get made one day. Once again, I'm Huston Party, and you can find me on social media on Instagram and TikTok, and my short films are on YouTube, all under the same name, Huston Party. And make sure to watch Love Burns, brought to you by ScreenBurn. Thank you.